I'm a kid on Christmas. You grow up watching Marvel, you know, you grow up wanting to be a superhero. You grow up and getting to be that is like, it's the words can't describe it, man.
You like your costume? Have you had a fitting?
Yeah, I love it.
You like a superhero in it?
Yeah, I am.
Amazing. It's a great pleasure to welcome Barry Keoghan into our studio today. A big fan of yours, man.
Thanks, man.
The new film is Calm with Horses. As I was saying, tough piece of work.
Yeah.
Great piece of work.
Different.
Talk to me a little bit about, let's just get the basics out of the way. How do you get involved in this one? What's the appeal of this one?
Nick Rowland, you know, he's it's first-time filmmaker as well. I seen a short he done called Dancing in the Ashes, and he made it for like, I think 3,000-4,000, and it just blew my mind.
Yeah.
You know, it was just incredible and moving, and I wanted to see what he was doing like for his first feature. So this came about, and he flew to Ireland. We chatted. We had a few Guinness, and we got on. You know, and we chatted about the character, and we clicked.
Is this a uniquely Irish story, you think? Is what makes this unique to to your home?
It is, you know, and it's always nice to film home.
Yeah.
It's always nice. But the Irish crews and everyone, and just getting to work, and it was magic. They're based on a short stories by Colin Barrett.
Right.
It captures kind of the life of the West, if you get me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in Dublin, and this is filmed in Connemara, and it's a totally different world. So
It's also about friendship and loyalty and
Loyalty,
violence and culture. Like, that's just inherent in some kind of the ways some people have to grow up just by blood.
yeah.
How does it resonate with the way you grew up? You had a tough childhood, from what I gather.
Yeah, it wasn't like that though, you know.
I hope not. Yeah.
But loyalty, it definitely plays a big part in the loyalty. You know, because Dimpna, the character I play, is constantly trying to prove to his uncles and basically to the community, I think, you know, and keeping this kind of persona that he has, and this, you know, and this vicious kind of thing he's trying to give off. But it's loyalty to his family and you know, and to Arm and that. So yeah.
You know, watching it, this doesn't like read as like, oh, this must have been a blast to shoot. This must like, I mean, is it? I mean, you obviously you're getting something out of this experience, but I can't imagine every day.
I got to see my country. You know, I got to
there's
go to
that.
places where I wouldn't have went to. You know, the west coast of Ireland is probably one of the most beautiful places in the world. Like, and getting to spend time there, and it's such a low budget movie as well that, you know, you don't have the perks of staying in these big hotels, and you're kind of with the team on it.
Yeah.
Which is nice, you know, because it was a young crew as well, and everyone was putting their hard hours in, and you felt a part of that. You didn't feel like, all right, I'm gonna go to the hotel now.
Right, check out.
You know, and I rather that. Well, I won't say rather, because don't go put me in it. But like, you know, it's sometimes the crews and that don't get the love that they should, and to be, you know, to be there with him and basically going at it with him was nice.
Well, and you mentioned this is his first feature, and that, you know, he's got everything to prove. Like, it's all on this. So
a lot of pressure, man.
I could only imagine. So for you, I mean, especially, and I want to talk to you sort of about like the last few years, which have been amazing for you. But like, is it important to you to still mix it up with like young first-time filmmakers?
Yeah. If the script is there, honestly, if the script and the story and the character, you know, them three elements, I'm down to do it. You know, it doesn't matter the budget. You know, you see films these days being made on iPhones and stuff like that, and it doesn't matter what it's captured on, or you know, it's a story. It's so yeah. Whatever the material is, if it reaches out to me and I like it, I mean, yeah.
I mentioned when you came in here, I've been really admiring your work and your choices the last few years, and just like
I've been lucky in that way, man.
It's a good run, and it's going to continue, I think, judging by what's coming up for you. Just talk to me a little bit, like expectations. Like if I talked to you 5 years ago, is this kind of what you imagined where you were going? Like, is this succeeding?
You seen the tweet I tweeted Stan Lee?
Yes. So let's give a little context. Back in 2013, you tweeted,
It was like, please let me be a superhero.
Please make me a superhero,
you know,
to Stan Lee.
Yeah, and it's just that, it's that vision, and that, you know, and I don't want to make it sound too cheesy and too cliche, but it's just having that drive, and you know, and watching all these people that I admire and getting to meet them, like it. I'm starstruck when I get to meet half of the people I meet, and
Well, I was
I'm
at
such a fanboy, like, as well.
I know you. I can tell. I follow you on social, and I was at T23, and I saw you losing your
Rock.
mind for The Rock.
Oh my god. That was madness because we set that up so I'd bump into him.
You set it up?
Yeah, yeah. They set it up like for me, you know. I was like, "Can I meet The Rock?" And they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "What? Wait, yeah." I was like, "Oh, shit, all right, this is it." And my girlfriend seen him, and they set up so nice that we'd bump into each other, and he is such a gent.
The best.
You know, they say don't meet your heroes, and oh my god, he was more than I expected. Like you know, and the fact he was just tired and whatever, and he was ready to go, and he'd had a long day, but he stood there with me, and he was willing to give me advice, and I was the one that freaked out. I was like, oh, I can't, it's The Rock, oh my god. And my girlfriend had to butt in and go, just want to say, he can't talk now, but he's a huge fan of yours, and you know, he was so loving in that, and the fact that he went and tweeted me after and showed support that way, it goes to show, like, he is where he is because he's such a good guy, you know.
What's the Barry Keoghan Rock collabo that we're trying to get off the ground?
What is it? We're working on it. Yeah, we're working on it at the minute. I want to put that out there.
It has begun. Look, it worked last time with Marvel to make you a superhero.
I know, man.
What do we want to secret into the universe now?
I know. It's crazy.
What did movies mean to you growing up? I mean, I alluded to the tough upbringing. Were movies an escape?
Escape, man. I was gonna say that. Yeah, I think for everyone, you know, look at Martin Scorsese. He says he always ran away to the cinema and, you know, escaped that way. And for me, it was you know, watching old movies and learning traits and ways to talk to people and mannerisms, and along with some acting. And
who were the actors you were obsessed with then or
Paul
now?
Newman.
Yeah?
Paul Newman. I still am. Brando is the obvious one as well. Just, you know, I never met my granddad. You know, he passed away before I was born, but they somehow remind me of him, you know, and his kind of way.
What about in your contemporaries? Who knocks you back? Who are you impressed by?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Just the way he's just willing to commit and just go for it.
Just Tom Hardy.
Same way, yeah,
you
totally,
know. I've a list. DiCaprio. I've a list of them. And Daniel Day-Lewis.
Have you spent? I mean, Hardy was obviously in Dunkirk, but not in your stuff. Have you spent time with Tom at all?
I got to meet him at the premiere.
Yeah.
For the first time, which was weird.
Intimidating guy.
I was like, "Oh, you were great in the film." I was like, "So are you, bro?"
Dunkirk secret handshake.
Play cool, do you know what I mean? But no, he's class, man. He does this thing with his body as well.
Yeah.
You know, the great ones do it. Their body language. I don't even think he knows he's doing it, but you know, wherever way he's feeling, his body tells it off. And
yeah, I think of that film like Warrior, the way.
Warrior, man, and Bronson, and
amazing.
You know, and then even in Dunkirk and Batman, and you know, he's covered here, but you know, it's just a lesson what he does there. Like
Yeah, a couple quick things. I know you can't say anything about Eternals, but talk to me just what it means to you to be a part of this.
It's exciting, man.
Yeah,
it really is.
And now you've gotten to know your cast a little bit at D23. You probably met a lot of them for the first time.
I did, and it was. You know, I thought it was going to be intimidating walking out, but
yeah,
you know, they were so reassuring backstage and getting to meet everyone, and you know, they were like, just take a breath, and you know, I was like, yeah, I was the last one to be called out, and I was like, am I gonna make it through them curtains, because I feel like I'm gonna, whoo. But I walked out, and you know, that was an experience in itself as well.
Amazing.
I mean, getting to just, you look from there to there, and it was just. I was full of everyone, like it, and everyone's so, you know, pumped up, and you're there, and you're trying to hold your own. And crazy.
I can't wait to see what you do with it, man.